I'm going to be honest, I can't go to Iran. I can't deploy to Iran. And it's not because I don't want to. I want to serve my country. It's just that I will be an OPSEC liability in any country filled with pretty caramel-colored women. She's going to be like, what's an outboard? And I'm going to be like, it's hard to explain. It'd be easier if I just grab one and show you.
It's being reported that some soldiers are opting out of this war and refusing to deploy to Iran. Soldiers are filing conscientious objections. This is an objection to participate in war in any form. Every soldier has the right to object, and this can be based on religious, ethical, or moral beliefs. It's being said that a lot of soldiers filed their objection after it was found out that it was an American missile that struck an Iranian school, unaliving 150 children. Some soldiers cited they didn't believe that Iran was an imminent threat to the United States when this war was started. Others also cited that they did not want to fight a war for another country. Once a soldier files a conscientious objection, before the investigation even starts, their command is notified and any deployments or assignments must be halted. Now, there is a possibility that their conscientious objection could be rejected, and Donald Trump could pass a law where conscientious objections are not allowed during these times. But what would that say about our country if we would force people to fight for something that they don't believe in?
So it really seems like our U.S. military men are coming to their fucking senses because, baby, they are not wanting to go out there on that battlefield. They see what the fuck Iran, or whatever the fuck you call them, the damage that they have done. And they being Pacific. They said they ain't finna go up against no motherfucking Iran over Israel, because this is not our fight. Now what Dookie Booty gonna do? He got people, he got his own military saying this is not our fight. I'm so glad that they're coming to their senses. What the fuck you want to go out there and die, get injured for something that ain't right? I hope that our military men stand on business with this, saying that they don't want to go out there into that damn bullshit because it's not their fight. Trump got these people over there and they don't want to be over there. Y'all, it's getting interesting.
So now we are looking to the situation that could change everything. Tension between the United States and Iran are reaching the dangerous breaking point, but what happening behind the scene is even more shocking. Reports are emerging that some American soldiers are refusing to fight, while global allies are stepping back to the cost of war is skyrocketing. So the big question is this: is this just another conflict, or is it just the beginning of something much bigger? That is my question I'm asking you. So before we continue, I want to give credit to all original creator of TikTok clips used in this video. All clips belong to their respective creator and are used here for commentary, news report, and education purpose only.
I do not want war with Iran. I don't care what a foreign government says. I don't care what paid influencers say. I do not care what the mainstream media wants. I do not care what the DC warmongering industrial complex wants. I do not want war with Iran. First of all, I have heard all of this before. I am an Iraq War veteran. I heard the exact same things being said when I was a 20-year-old kid being sent to Iraq. We were told that it would be over in a couple of weeks. We were told that this was necessary. 10 years, thousands of American soldiers' deaths later, and over 100,000 Iraqi deaths later, we all found out that the war in Iraq was a total scam, and I see this exact same thing happening here in this country, and I am saying I do not support this. I do not want it. You can say what you want about me. A lot of people are saying lots of things about me that are not true. I do not care. I will die on this hill. War with Iran is a catastrophic idea. You are being sold a lie. You are being sold the idea that this will be over in a couple of weeks. You're sold the idea that there will be no American troops on the ground. You are being sold an absolute lie so that warmongering evil people can get wealthier and quench their bloodthirst. So let me be clear how Rob Smith stands on Iran. No war with Iran, period.
According to a new report, there's been a 1,000% increase in U.S. troops seeking what's called conscientious objector status, meaning they would be objecting to going to fight in the Iran war. A military official said that a ground operation would be an absolute disaster. We don't have a plan for that. We can't even fully defend a single land base in the theater. Additionally, a veteran and a reservist who mentors younger officers told HuffPost her contacts are expressing a loss of faith to a new degree. She said, "I'm hearing out of service members' mouths the words, 'We don't want to die for Israel. We don't want to be political pawns.'" And another reservist in touch with current troops separately reported hearing similar comments. The first reservist continued by saying, "I've shared conscientious objector information 6 times in the past 2 weeks, and I've been in the military almost 20 years. I've never had people reach out this way." The executive director of the Center of Conscience and War said his group in the past would hear from between 50 and 80 troops annually. However, this month he's seen a 1,000% increase, saying at least one new service member now contacts the organization daily. The reservist said the lack of a clear, consistent narrative justifying the Iran war is a key source of discontent among troops, demoralizing those who believe a poorly planned conflict is placing them in unnecessary danger for no identifiable strategic benefit. A 1,000% increase in U.S. troops seeking to avoid this war because there's no reason for it should tell us everything we need to know.
All right, now, I don't know if y'all can hear that, but them gunshots is getting real close, y'all. This shit not looking too good, I ain't gonna lie. Iran, they might have won this shit. I ain't gonna lie, too many motherfuckers is begging out. This shit not good. I ain't gonna lie, this shit raps. GG's in the chat, yo.
And I promise you, that's the mindset of most of the soldiers over there. We don't want to be there. This is not our fight. Think about it. We were forced to be over there. A lot of the soldiers, they weren't expecting to be boots on the ground out in Iran. They have no reason to be there. So that's the mindset of a lot of our soldiers over there. The Iranian soldiers, now they have a reason to fight. They have seen what the United States have done to them. Schools being blown away, 150 plus children killed, their leader killed, and family killed. Now their new leader has a reason to take vengeance on us. So of course they want to fight us. Of course. We don't want to be there. It's just like World War II. The United States wasn't originally in the war. The World War II started 2 years prior to us getting involved. The only reason we got involved is because Japan bombed Pearl Harbor. When that happened, the next day we were out and we had a reason to fight. We have no reason to fight this time.
Take it from an Army brat when I say there is no such thing as returning from war. Both of my parents are 100% permanently disabled Army veterans. You know, my mom got out sooner than my dad did, but ended up with the same result. You know? A lifetime of disability. Some of our sponsors, they come back animated, intact. But most of them, they're broken. You know, their hearts, their minds, their spirits, crushed, crippled. Because that's what conflict does to humans. And there is no amount of money, no amount of pension they can pay these veterans, no amount of care they can offer through the VA health system to fix the things they break when they send other people's people to wars they insist we wage, because they will not send their own. They will not send their sons and daughters, their nieces and nephews, their mothers and fathers, their brothers and their sisters. They don't. They send ours. The poor, the marginalized, the disenfranchised, you know? Who are enlisting in hopes that they can build a foundation upon which their children and grandchildren can continue to build on top of, because this country gives them no other choice. You know? And this time, on the words of a draft dodger, a man who could not be bothered to serve his country when it called for him. No, that's only for us, right? I just watched them snap a Marine's arm in half. Yeah, because he dared to stand up and say, we do not want to send our sons and daughters into this unnecessary conflict, you know? They snapped his arm in half in the jam of a door because they would rather take him out of that hall in pieces than let him speak. I watched my father leave, come back, leave, come back, leave, come back. Intact each time, but a little different. Until one day he was completely unrecognizable. You know, and I do not blame him for some of this, some of what he has to carry, because it is men like this, men like Trump, men like Hegseth, who sent him into conflict and broke him. And he cannot be a good father to his children. He cannot be a present grandfather to my sons or my nephews. You know? And no one talks about us. No one thinks about us, the families that are destroyed. Because we cannot imagine a world in which we don't reign supreme. We do not exercise unchecked dominion. The same words that were being preached in pulpits throughout my childhood. Every time men like these wanted to send my people into conflicts for other similarly bloodthirsty nations, quoting at me Revelation and Daniel and the like, because they do not serve a God of love, a God of peace. They serve a God of war, a God of violence. Hell, the violence itself is proof that God exists. You know, it is his primary way that he makes himself known in the midst of his people, strikes awe in the hearts of his enemies. You know? This is not a distraction. This is what they've always wanted. They've been brainwashing people in pulpits, on TV screens, for decades, because this is what they wanted. I got a call because I still have to go to work, you know? But this is what they wanted: to pull Armageddon down from heaven onto earth, because they believe themselves to be anointed as kings and priests of this earth. Hell will never be hot enough for these people.
Yeah, man.
You seen the platoon sergeant?
What the hell wrong with you?
I won't be able to deploy. You seen the platoon sergeant? Ain't he here?
Nah, he just walked out.
Yeah, my left my hip. So they were talking about deployment, and I can't deploy because my hip.
You ain't look like that. You just ran 2 miles this morning, though.
I know, but I hurt my hip out there getting out of the vehicle and stepping on my big toe. So I won't be able to. I won't be able to deploy.
You on profile?
Can't let the platoon sergeant. No, I'm trying to get one.
Oh, no, you'll be there. They ain't even giving out profiles no
I
more.
won't be able to deploy.
Nah, they ain't giving out profiles no more.
Can you just let them know? I hurt my hip. I won't
You sure?
Deploy.
You sure you alright?
Yeah, I'm good, but I just won't be able to deploy. Let them know.
Oh man, we gonna get you out there one way or another. Don't worry.
Hey, don't get me out there anyway. I just keep deploying my leg.
Y'all know America's losing this war, right? Y'all know America is losing this war. I refuse to say we because I'm not a part of this shit. Y'all are losing this war. Yeah, big time. Now I'm going to ask that you please use your common sense, although I understand for the bulk of Americans, common sense packed its bags and relocated. But for those of you who still have common sense, all you have to do is compare the media coverage that we received during the war of Afghanistan, Iraq, versus this war with Iran. You notice how you're not getting shit? You're not getting any information? You're not receiving nothing. Mind you, the technology that we have today far advances the technology that we had back then. And we had footage of everything that was going on back then. They were showing us everything. They didn't care about censoring because America was winning. We're not winning. Excuse me. Y'all not winning. And since American citizens are not receiving any update, any information via American media news outlets, let me let y'all see these clips of what Iran is saying, okay?
A message to the President of the United States. The outcome of war cannot be determined by tweets. The result of a war is determined in the field, the very place where you and your forces do not dare to approach, and you can only talk about it in your tweets. It's better to name this war as epic fear instead of epic fury.
Basically what he said is, the President of the United States ain't got nothing but Twitter fingers. He's a keyboard warrior, certified keyboard warrior. And if we're gonna be honest, there's not one president in the United States history that has tweeted as much as President Donald Trump has. Not one. Since the entire existence of the platform, of the social media platform, not one has tweeted more than Donald Trump himself. But not just that, watch this clip too.
این که ما میگوییم آتش بس نمیخواهیم نه به این دلیل که دنبال جنگ هستیم، به این دلیل که این بار این جنگ باید به شکلی تمام بشود که دشمنان ما دیگر هرگز به فکر تکرار این حملات و این تجاوز نیفتند. و من فکر میکنم تا همین الان هم درس خوبی فرا گرفتند. فهمیدند که با چه ملتی طرف هستند که در دفاع از خودش هیچ تردیدی نمیکنه و آمادگی داره که جنگ رو تا هر کجا که هست ادامه بده و به هر کجا که هست بکشه.
Does that sound like a nation that is scared of the greatest military strength of the world? Because they're not. They're not. And they're defending themselves really well. They're quite successful, actually. Yeah. Since when have you ever heard any other nation talk to America like this? During a war. During war. Now we're going to call this portion of the video information about Americans that Americans don't know, as we are all experiencing a great media blackout during this time. Within the first 7 days, the Pentagon reported to Congress that it cost the American government $11.3 billion to participate in this war. Within the first 7 days, $11.3 billion. We are now at day 18. Mind you, this is an investment that America will not be receiving a return on, as they are losing this war. They're losing. Oh, and that's 11.3 American tax-paying dollars, by the way, wasted within the first 7 days of this war that we have no business being a part of. The United States government, via the Pentagon, reported that there's only been 6 United States casualties. Only 6 United States soldiers' lives were claimed. However, the media from Iran states that on March 4th, 500 American soldiers were killed. And then by March 6th, the number of American casualties were rumored to have reached the thousands. That's what Iran's media is stating. Meanwhile, ours is stating only 6 passed away, and it's 6 white lives. Can I quickly read to you guys a portion of an article that was written by an Israeli journalist discussing this war? I'm going to do it anyway, okay? All right, boom. Iran has destroyed the most valuable, expensive military bases, property, and equipment in the entire world. The American bases in Bahrain, Kuwait, Qatar, Saudi Arabia are amongst the largest military facilities in the world. These facilities have cost trillions of dollars over several decades to build. We are talking about the fact that the bulk of military spending that has been made over 30 years has gone up in smoke. We see radars costing millions, hundreds of millions of dollars, each being destroyed at an instant. We see entire military bases being abandoned and burned, looted and destroyed. And I'm telling you, as far as I know, the United States has never suffered such destruction in its entire history. This is an Israeli person saying this. When I say that Iran is dominating this war, I'm not lying to you guys. Did you guys know that they're still operating? As far as them still trading and selling oil, they're still operating. Meanwhile, it's been 18 days since the United States has had access to the Strait of Hormuz. Okay? Iran effectively shut off all access to that pass route. We can't get in. It's now 18 days of that. And they're still selling. They're still selling. If that's not an indication of Iran's strength and power and how weak America is right now, the United States, I don't know what is. Let me put y'all on to another power play from Iran, right? Reports state that Iran is considering allowing oil tankers in only if the cargo is sold using the Chinese yuan, not the United States dollar. Basically saying, I'll open this right back up, but we're not using your money. We're not using your money. Y'all understand that this is a move that helps help eliminate reliance on the United States dollar, right? Further weakening the United States dollar, something that the United States is desperately trying to avoid, something that's currently happening, right? While boosting the yuan, the Chinese yuan, in the trading market. Now you probably would understand why the United States government wants access to Venezuela's oil, considering they knew ahead of time that they were going to do this. And they were going to deal with some backlash. 18 days, no access from oil in the Middle East. That don't sound like the big, bad, mighty America, the United States that I know. They'd go in there, guns a-blazing. There would have been how many people already deployed? How many troops already on Iran soil? But like their leader said, y'all don't dare. Y'all wouldn't dare to come over here. And just to solidify how deep, right, the United States is in, 3 days ago, the president of the United States, Donald Trump, the leader of the largest, strongest military strength in the world, asked for help from other nations in sending ships so that they could open up and get access back to the Strait of Hormuz. He started asking and stating he expected to get help from nations like UK, Canada, China, South Korea. The leader to the strongest military strength in the world is asking for help for a problem that he started and is now realizing he cannot fix. The American military is no match for what they got going on over there in Iran. He's realizing that. How you start a fight and now you getting your ass handed to you? Because that's exactly what's going on with America right now. That's exactly what's going on. I, for one, I'm looking forward to this. I'm happy that this is happening. It's about time that America, United States, gets knocked down a peg or two. It's about time, you understand, the downfall of America finally starts happening. So I'm happy. I'm happy that they're realizing that they done fucked around and now they're finding out.
As this situation continues to unfold, one thing that is become clear is bigger than just a war. From soldiers questioning their law to allies refusing to stand alongside the United States and growing fear of economic fallout, the world may be entering a new and uncertain chapter. The question is now is just what happened next, but who will be the left to stand when it's all over. Stay informed and stay aware. If you are new here, please consider subscribe, like, share. Don't forget to leave a comment. And for returning subscriber, thank you so much for your support. See you in next episode.